welcome to ERi-TV English News Broadcast. It's now exactly 10:30 p.m. Asmara time, and we're ready for domestic and international news for July 31st, 2026. Reporting live from our headquarters in Asmara and inviting you to stay with us is Heaven Johannes, your news anchor for this session. Let's begin with the top stories. Exemplary female teachers recognized in the Gashbarka region. Congress of National Council of Eritrean-Americans concludes. Trump says agreement reached on complete disarmament of Hamas and other armored groups in Gaza. And Nigeria destroys thousands of seized illicit arms in security crackdown. Welcome again. In today's domestic news, the Ministry of Education branch in the Gashbarka region, in collaboration with partners, recognized exemplary female teachers who have served in various parts of the region for 10 to 32 years. At the event organized on July 30th at Goni Boarding School, Mr. Yasin Mohammed, head of the Regional Education Office, said that the objective of the program was to recognize female teachers who had served for many years at educational facilities ranging from preschools to secondary schools, and to motivate fellow teachers to follow their noble example. Dr. Halima Mohammed, Minister of Education, noted that efforts have been exerted at the ministry level, particularly in the Ansaba, Gashbarka, Northern Red Sea and Southern Red Sea regions, to encourage female students and enhance their participation in education, and that encouraging results have been registered. Dr. Halima went on to say that initiative taken by the Ministry of Education branch in the Gashbarka region to recognize exemplary female teachers places a significant responsibility on the awardees and motivates them to redouble their efforts. She also called for the initiative to be expanded by introducing additional criteria. Noting the significance of recognizing exemplary female teachers in motivating their colleagues, Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurui, governor of the region, called on the teachers to redouble their efforts and pass on the values of the teaching profession to the younger generation. There are 7,412 teachers in the Gashbarka region, 41% of whom are females. Moving on, the 8th Congress of the National Council of Eritrean-Americans, which was held from 28 to 31st July in Dallas, Texas, under the theme Firm Foundation, Forward in Vision, concluded with the adoption of various recommendations and resolutions. The annual Congress, which was officially opened by Mr. Yosef Sail, head of the organizational affairs of the PFDJ, was attended by 450 representatives of the PFDJ, the National Union of Eritrean Women, the YPFDJ, and HIDRI organizations, as well as invited guests. The Congress conducted an in-depth review of the reports presented by all national organizations and put forward ideas and recommendations to support the development of future action programs. Briefings were also delivered by successful Eritrean youth with the aim of motivating and encouraging young Eritreans to pursue excellence in education and vocational skills. Dr. Tsagai Medin, head of archaeological research at the Commission of Culture and Sports, also delivered an extensive briefing on Eritrea's rich, ancient and historical heritage. Speaking about Eritrea's role in promoting peace and development in the Horn of Africa, as well as the values of the Eritrean people and their leadership, Mr. Ali Faghi, a Somali scholar and friend of Eritrea, said that Eritrea's experience in nation building and national unity could serve as a living example and a model for the entire region and Africa in general. The participants held extensive discussions on the future action plan and expressed their resolve to strengthen their participation and contribution to national affairs. Mr. Burhana Gabrihiwet, chargé d'affaires at the Eritrean Embassy, called for active participation in the implementation of the programs discussed and adopted by the Congress. Mr. Yosef Saik, head of organizational affairs of the PFDJ, called for strengthening the participation of nationals in national and community affairs, enhancing organizational capacity and providing community services under the umbrella of the National Council of Eritrean-Americans. In another news, the Gothenburg, Sweden branch of the National Association of Eritrean War-Disabled Veterans extended more than 300,000 NOK in support of war-disabled veterans. Underlining that supporting war-disabled veterans is the responsibility of every citizen, Mr. Samson Yamane, vice chairman of the association, said that extending the support had brought the members a sense of spiritual fulfillment. Mr. Fisahaya Tesfa Mikhail, chairman of the National Association of Eritrean War-Disabled Veterans, indicated that the main objective of expanding the association to various countries was to support and encourage war-disabled veterans. He commended the Gothenburg branch for the support it had extended. In the same vein, members of the Association of Eritrean War-Disabled Veterans in Australia extended 225,000 NOK in support of war-disabled veterans engaged in livestock farming. The National Association of Eritrean War-Disabled Veterans had 16 branches in various countries, and its Gothenburg branch has 120 members. Do stay tuned, dear viewers, for we shall be back with the international news after the short break. Welcome back. Now, the global arena, U.S. President Donald Trump said that agreement has been reached on complete disarmament of Hamas and other armed groups in Gaza. The president added that the agreement is a critical step towards Gaza finally being governed by a new Palestinian government that will work closely with the Board of Peace to help the Palestinian people. The agreement will be carried out in structured phases, according to the president, who noted that as disarmament is completed, Israeli forces will withdraw and the International Stabilization Force will work with a new Palestinian police force to take responsibility for Gaza's security. Egypt, Qatar and Turkey helped broker the agreement as mediators. Now, the African region and Nigerian security forces have seized and destroyed 2,819 illicit and decommissioned small arms and light weapons in Abuja, Nigeria on Thursday. According to authorities, the seizure is the latest step in a campaign to permanently remove illegal weapons from circulation and choke off arms fueling banditry, kidnapping and violent crime. The federal government said it has removed 19,000 illegal weapons from circulation, including Thursday's cache. The weapons had been recovered through security operations and amnesty surrenders before being displayed and labeled for identification ahead of destruction. A large part of northern Nigeria is under constant terrorist attacks, and the government's efforts to secure peace is reported to be not successful. In today's final report, China and the European Union have agreed to hold the second meeting of the China-EU Trade and Investment Consultation Mechanism, said He Yadong, a spokesman of the Ministry of Commerce at a press briefing in Beijing on Thursday. At the first meeting under the China-EU Trade and Investment Consultation Mechanism, both sides reached a consensus on the new positioning of a stable and balanced key trading partnership and reached a preliminary agreement that the second meeting of the consultation will be held this autumn. The first meeting between China and the EU was held in Brussels, Belgium on June 29. According to the spokesperson, both sides have held more than 20 consultations and conducted in-depth and professional exchange on each other's economic and trade concerns since then. He added that China is willing to continue to maintain high-frequency communication with the EU so as to explore practical and feasible solutions to each other's concerns in the economic and trade field, promote balanced and positive development of bilateral trade, and maintain the stability and balance of the China-EU key trading partnership. The two sides made a trade exchange worth $860 billion in the year 2025 alone, with the figure expected to rise to around $1 trillion this year. With this, we conclude our domestic and international report for this session, dear viewers. Now the top stories once more. Exemplary female teachers recognized in the Gashbarka region. Congress of National Council of Eritrean-Americans concludes. In our international, Trump says agreement reached on complete disarmament of Hamas and other armed groups in Gaza. And Nigeria destroys thousands of seized illicit arms in security crackdown. This was The World on Friday with ERi-TV English News broadcast. Dear viewers, from all of us here, thank you for watching.